Adventures in Whimsy Wood. Once upon a time, in a magical forest called Whimsy Wood, there lived a group of whimsical creatures. This forest was unlike any other, for it was a place where imagination danced through the leaves, where laughter filled the air, and where every day was an adventure waiting to happen. The leader of this merry group was a wise old owl named Oliver. He was known for his round glasses and his habit of perching on a branch high above the forest floor. Oliver loved to tell stories to the young creatures of Whimsy Wood, and his stories were always filled with wonder. One sunny morning, as the golden rays of the sun streamed through the trees, Oliver gathered his young friends for a special announcement. Today, he began, we shall embark on an adventure like no other. We shall journey to the enchanted lake, where the water sparkles like diamonds, and the fish tell tales of the past. The young creatures clapped their paws, flapped their wings, and wagged their tails in excitement. They couldn't wait to see what wonders awaited them. The journey to the enchanted lake was filled with surprises. Along the way, they encountered talking flowers, mischievous squirrels, and even a friendly gnome who offered them directions. The forest seemed to come alive with enchantment. Finally, they reached the enchanted lake. Its waters were indeed as sparkling as diamonds, and the fish swam up to greet them. Each fish had a story to tell, and the young creatures listened with wide-eyed wonder. As they sat by the lake, a soft melody began to play. It was the wind rustling through the leaves, creating a beautiful symphony. The young creatures joined in, singing and dancing to the music of the forest. The day passed in a blur of laughter and joy, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, Oliver declared it was time to return to Whimsy Wood. As they made their way back, the young creatures couldn't stop talking about their adventure. They realized that every day in Whimsy Wood was an adventure in itself, filled with magic and surprises. And so, in the heart of Whimsy Wood, the creatures learned that the real adventure was not in far-off places, but in the company of good friends and the magic of their own imaginations. From that day on, they cherished every moment in their whimsical forest, knowing that in Whimsy Wood, the greatest adventures were the ones they created together. And so, the magical forest of Whimsy Wood remained a place where imagination danced through the leaves, where laughter filled the air, and where every day was an adventure waiting to happen. The magical paintbrush. Once upon a time in a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and lush meadows, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was known for her big imagination and her love of painting. She would spend hours creating colorful masterpieces that she proudly displayed in her small bedroom. One sunny morning, as Lily was exploring the attic of her old house, she stumbled upon a dusty, forgotten chest. Curiosity got the better of her, and she opened it to reveal a most extraordinary treasure, a paintbrush unlike any she had ever seen. Its bristles shimmered like a rainbow, and its handle was made of glistening silver. Lily carefully picked up the paintbrush, feeling a warm, magical energy emanating from it. She decided to test it by dipping it into a jar of red paint. To her astonishment, as soon as she made her first stroke on a blank canvas, the red paint transformed into a vibrant, fluttering butterfly. Giggling with delight, Lily began to experiment further. With each stroke of the magical paintbrush, her paintings came to life. She painted a meadow filled with bouncing bunnies, an ocean where dolphins leaped out of the waves, and a forest where deer pranced gracefully. Word of Lily's enchanted paintings spread throughout the village, and soon people from far and wide came to see her incredible art. Visitors marveled at the lifelike animals, shimmering rainbows, and magical landscapes that seemed to leap off the canvas. Lily's paintings brought happiness to all who saw them, and the village began to thrive as tourists flocked to witness her magical creations. The once quiet village had become a bustling town, filled with laughter and wonder. But Lily remained humble and kind. She painted not for fame or fortune, but for the sheer joy of bringing beauty and happiness to others. Her heart was as pure as her art, and that was what made her paintings so magical. One day, an art collector from the city arrived, offering to buy all of Lily's paintings for a vast sum of money. Lily hesitated, torn between the wealth that could change her life and the love she had for her art. As she contemplated the offer, a gentle breeze flowed through the attic, rustling a nearby curtain and revealing a dusty old diary. Lily opened it and read the words of her great-grandmother, who had been a talented artist herself. "Art is a gift to be shared with the world," the diary read. "Its true magic lies not in riches, but in the joy it brings to others." With newfound clarity, Lily declined the collector's offer, choosing to continue painting in her quiet village. She knew that her art was more precious than any fortune. And so, Lily's magical paintbrush continued to create wonders that filled hearts with joy and inspired the imagination of all who gazed upon her art. The village remained a place of enchantment, where the most valuable treasures were the love, laughter, and beauty that surrounded them every day. Winnie's Wizarding World. In a cozy little cottage at the edge of a magical forest, there lived a young girl named Winnie. Winnie was not an ordinary girl, she had a special gift. She could see and communicate with magical creatures that no one else could. Every morning, Winnie would wake up to the cheerful chirping of the forest's talking birds. They were her closest friends, and would often tell her about the adventures they had witnessed in the enchanted woods. The trees whispered secrets to her, and the butterflies danced around her, leaving trails of sparkling stardust. One sunny morning, as Winnie strolled through the forest, she heard a tiny voice calling for help. She followed the sound and discovered a tiny, lost gnome named Grizzle. Grizzle was no taller than Winnie's knee, and had a bushy white beard. "Oh, dear! I'm lost in this big forest," Grizzle exclaimed. Winnie smiled kindly and said, "Don't worry, Grizzle. I'll help you find your way home." With her magical connection to the forest, Winnie could sense the direction of Grizzle's gnome village. She held out her hand, and Grizzle climbed aboard. Together, they embarked on a magical journey through the woods. As they walked, Winnie introduced Grizzle to her forest friends. They met Sparkle the squirrel, who loved to collect shiny acorns, and Twinkle the firefly, who lit up the path ahead. The forest creatures were thrilled to make a new friend, and Grizzle felt a warmth he had never experienced before. After a joyful adventure filled with laughter and enchantment, they reached the gnome village. Grizzle's family was overjoyed to see him safe and sound. They invited Winnie to stay for a gnome-sized feast, where they served honey cakes and berry tea. Winnie's visits to the gnome village became a regular occurrence. She and Grizzle shared stories and laughter, and Winnie learned all about the hidden world of the gnomes. In return, Winnie shared the magic of her world with the gnomes, showing them how the forest came alive with wonder and beauty. One day, as Winnie was visiting the gnome village, she noticed a sad look on Grizzle's face. "What's wrong, Grizzle?" she asked. Grizzle sighed and said, "Our village's magical garden has lost its glow. It used to be filled with colorful flowers and sparkling crystals, but now it's dull and lifeless." Winnie knew she had to help. She gathered her forest friends, and together, they worked their magic to restore the gnome garden to its former glory. Sparkle brought shimmering acorns, Twinkle lit up the garden with a soft glow, and the talking birds sang their sweetest songs. When the garden was aglow with magic once more, the gnomes cheered with delight. Grizzle thanked Winnie for her kindness, and they celebrated with a grand feast. Winnie's wizarding world was a place of wonder and friendship, where the magic of nature and the warmth of companionship filled every day with joy. She continued to explore the enchanted forest, making new friends and spreading her special kind of magic to all who crossed her path. And the magical creatures of the forest were grateful for the girl who had brought their world and Winnie's wizarding world together.